Hello, I'm Reggie York. This is a presentation of a review of Chapter 2, the Chapter 2 test in the book Becoming a Social Researcher. The purpose of this is to discuss each of the questions for that test for that chapter. It's assumed that you have taken the test and you know how well you did. If you did not do well, this will probably be of most benefit to you. We will go over each question, discuss the answer and the general concept being tested so that you will be better prepared to do a test that covers similar content. We'll go over each question and discuss the answer as well as the concept. Each will be presented to you, and you can pause the presentation in order to read it if you need to. This should be useful if you had difficulty with the test. I suggest you have the test with you as you go through this presentation. Question number 1, if you look at that one and then come back. Okay, this question is about where do things come in the research process. Research is a systematic process that goes from one step to another. So where does the tool you're designing or finding best fit? Well, it fits under B, developing the study methods. So that is the correct answer. So we want to make sure that we're going through the process systematically, not putting the cart before the horse, but putting everything in order. That's what that question's about. So here is question 2. Look it over. Well, the answer to this question is A. The purpose of this study is to determine if persons who exercise on a regular basis have fewer minor illnesses than those who do not. You will notice that B says the study purpose is to prove something. Remember that scientific research is a process of discovery, not justification. You do not do science in order to prove a point. That is inconsistent with the spirit of scientific inquiry. Here's question 3. Here we are talking about the nature of the empirical relationship, that is, a relationship based on data. You could have a positive relationship, you could have a negative relationship, or no relationship, but we're talking now about the positive and the negative relationship. The correct answer is B. Those with lower scores for depression will have higher grades. That's suggesting that the two are going in opposite directions, therefore it's a negative empirical relationship. Here is a depiction of that with arrows that may help you. The first one is a negative relationship showing that as depression goes up, grades go down. Then you have a positive relationship depicted. As grades go up, self-esteem goes up, or as self-esteem goes up, grades go up. So here you have an example, a depiction of a negative relationship in an empirical and a positive empirical relationship. Here's question number 4. Well, the answer here is C, both of the above. We are talking about principles related to the use of human subjects in research. The first one, of course, you do not want to cause harm. Second one, you do not want to violate people's privacy. These are just two of the things discussed in the book. Another one is coercion. You don't coerce people to do research. That's a questionable way to do research, and it violates ethics of research. So the answer there is, of course, C, both of the above. Here's question 5. So the study methods section of your report will give some information about the credibility of your study. How did you go about finding data, and is this a credible way so that when I read your study, I'm going to have confidence that your study results are meaningful, accurate, something I can depend upon, and so forth. So the answer there is B, both of the above. Methods relate to accuracy of measurement and generalization of study findings. Both of those. Here's question 6. The answer here is B. The findings would likely be repeated in general if the same study were conducted with a different sample from the same population of your study. Here we're talking about the question in general when you talk about generalization of findings is the question of to whom are your study results relevant? You have data from your sample, but can you generalize these to other people? Meaning, would you be confident you would find the same thing in general if you conducted the study with that other group of people? Well, for some reason, there we go. Having some trouble getting it to go to question 7. All right, here we go. Pause if you need to, and come back. The answer here is D, the method of sampling. When you're talking about finding where to seek information about generalization of findings, it has to do with the method you use to collect a study sample of people to use for your data. How are they selected? Therefore, who can you generalize these findings to? Okay, here's question 8. So the question here is, what do you need as your evidence to say your data supported your hypothesis? Do you need A to be true? The data were consistent with the prediction of the hypothesis? Of course, yes, that would be true. But also, B is true. The data were statistically significant. If you cannot answer A and B as yes, then you must say your data did not support your hypothesis. And I might add, if your data does not support your hypothesis, and the data did not go in the correct direction, you should not conclude in your conclusion section that you found this to be true. For example, if you found that males reported higher mean salaries than females, but you found that the difference was not statistically significant, you should not conclude that you found a higher salary for males. Here's question number 9. A p-value of 0.04 means that the data would occur by chance 4 times in 100. The standard in social sciences is a p-value less than 0.05. 0.05, of course, is less than 0.04, I'm sorry, is less than 0.05. So that p-value would normally be considered statistically significant if you accept that standard of 0.05 as is normal in the social sciences. Here's question 10. First of all, I want to say that A is not something to throw into your conclusion section, but B is your basic study results, such as, for example, the fact that your data showed that people who exercise are less likely to have recent minor illnesses than those who do not. However, you do not conclude this unless you find both that those who exercise are better off and you find the difference between those who exercise and the others to be statistically significant. Okay, that's the review of the 10 questions. I hope this helps. Good luck.